Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Krishna Chandra, Radhe. Jai Krishna Balaram, Jai Krishna Balaram. Jayo Nidai Gaurango, Jayo Nidai Gaurango. Jayo Prahlāda Narsimha, Jayo Sudarshana. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Srila Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी क्षेत्र की जय। गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय। वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री निताय गौरांग की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव की जय। हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सिंबल डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सिंबल डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द सिंबल डिवोटीज। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रीला प्रभुपाद। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, 10th chapter, verse number 25. यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा। यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा जीवन्ति तत्रैषा हि सत्वतः किल। जीवन्ति तत्रैष हि सत्वतः किल। धत्ते भगं सत्यं ऋतं दयां यशो। धत्ते भगं सत्यं ऋतं दयां यशो। भवाय रूपाणि दधद् युगे युगे। भवाय रूपाणि दधद् युगे युगे। यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा जीवन्ति तत्रैष हि सत्वतः किल। दत्ते भगं सत्यं ऋतं दयां यशो। भवाय रूपाणि दधद् युगे युगे। यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा जीवन्ति तत्रैष हि सत्वतः किल। दत्ते भगं सत्यमृतं दयां यशो। भवाय रूपाणि दधद् युगे युगे। यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा जीवन्ति तत्रैषैः सद्वतः किल धत्ते भगं सत्यमृतं दयां यशो भवाय रूपाणि दधद्युगे युगे यदा हि अधर्मेण तमोधियो नृपा जीवन्ति तत्रैषैः सत्वतः किल धत्ते भगं सत्यमृतं दयां यशो भवाय रूपाणि दधद्युगे yada whenever he assuredly adharmena against the principles of God's will tamaha dhiyaha persons in the lowest material modes nripaha kings and administrators jivanti live like animals tatra thereupon eshaha he he only satvataha transcendental kela certainly dhatte is manifested bhagam supreme power satyam truth ritam positiveness daya mercy yashaha wonderful activities bhavaya for the maintenance rupani in various forms dadhad manifested yuge different periods yuge and ages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence, the Lord in His transcendental form manifests His supreme power, the truth positive, shows special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities, and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. Please repeat. Whenever there are kings and administrators living like animals in the lowest modes of existence, the Lord in His transcendental form manifests His supreme power, the truth positive, shows special mercy to the faithful, performs wonderful activities, and manifests various transcendental forms as is necessary in different periods and ages. Purport. As mentioned above, the cosmic creation is the property of the Supreme Lord. This is the basic philosophy of Ishopanishad. Everything is the property of the Supreme Being. No one should encroach upon the property of the Supreme Lord. One should accept only what is kindly awarded by Him. Therefore, the earth or any other planet or universe is the absolute property of the Lord. The living beings are certainly His parts and parcels or sons, and thus every one of them has a right to live at the mercy of the Lord to execute His prescribed work. No one therefore can encroach upon the right of another individual man or animal without being so sanctioned by the Lord. The king or the administrator is the representative of the Lord to look after the management of the Lord's will. He must therefore be a recognized person like Maharaj Yudhishthir or Parikshit. Such kings have full responsibility and knowledge from authorities about the administration of the world, but at times, due to the influence of the ignorance modes of material nature, tamoguna, the lowest of the material modes, kings and administrators come into power without knowledge and responsibility. And such foolish administrators live like animals for the sake of their own personal interest. The result is that the whole atmosphere becomes surcharged with anarchy and vicious elements. Nepotism, bribery, cheating, aggression, and therefore famine, epidemic, war, and similar other disturbing features become prominent in human society. And the devotees of the Lord or the faithful are persecuted by all means. All these symptoms indicate the time of an incarnation of the Lord to re-establish the principles of religion and to vanquish the maladministrators. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord then appears in his transcendental form without any tinge of material qualities. He descends just to keep the state of his creation in a normal condition. The normal condition is that the Lord has provided each and every planet with all the needs of the native living beings. They can happily live and execute their predestined occupations to attain salvation at the end, following the rules and regulations mentioned in the revealed scriptures. The material world is created to satisfy the whims of the Nityabadha or everlasting conditioned souls, just as naughty boys are provided with playing cradles. Otherwise, there was no need of the material world. But when they become intoxicated with the power of material science to exploit the resources unlawfully without the sanction of the Lord, and that also only for sense gratification, there is necessity of the Lord's incarnation to chastise the rebellious and to protect the faithful. When he descends, he exhibits superhuman acts just to prove his supreme right. And materialists like Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, and Kansa are sufficiently punished. He acts in a manner which no one can imitate. For example, the Lord, when he appeared as Rama, bridged the Indian Ocean. When he appeared as Krishna, from his very childhood, he showed superhuman activities by killing Putana, Aghasur, Shakatasur, Kaliya, etc. And then his material uncle Kansa. When he was at Dwarka, he married 16,108 queens, and all of them amounted to about 100,000, popularly known as the Yaduvansha. And again, during his lifetime, he managed to vanquish them all. He is famous as the Govardhan Dhari Hari because he lifted at the age of only 7 the hill known as Govardhan. The Lord killed many undesirable kings in his time, and as a Kshatriya, he fought chivalrously. He is famous as the Asamardhva, unparalleled. No one is equal or greater than him. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतार श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. We were discussing in the last class that we should learn how to sacrifice for Krishna, and by this the perfection of self-realization is possible. And in this verse, Prabhupada, translation and purport, The same line of thought is explained by Srila Prabhupada, that the kings are supposed to rule here as representative of the Supreme Lord, like the viceroys were there during the British rule. Viceroy accepts all the offerings which are supposed to go to the queen or king, the ruler. He will accept, he will be given the same respect, but he goes back and offers everything to the queen. He will not keep any gifts for his own self. He is representative. In a similar way, all the rulers or administrators, they are supposed to be the representative. But when they start thinking, no, I am not representative, I am the proprietor, it belongs to me, this is my property, this is my kingdom. So the actual representatives of the Supreme Lord are the Brahmanas. And the kings are acting on behalf of the Brahmanas. Just like the hands of the body, they act on behalf of the brain. It is the brain which is acting, which is giving guidance. So that is why in Bhagavatam it is mentioned that the entire world is property of the Brahmanas, because the Brahmanas are actually representatives of the Supreme Lord. They use the entire world in the service of the Supreme Lord. So the kings are simply custodians of the property. The guard is given the right. It is a duty. You please protect the property. But the property does not belong to guard. Guard may think it's my house because I am protecting. No, guard may live in the same house. He may not allow anybody to use. But he is the guard. He is protector. So in a similar way, the Brahmanas know how to handle the property and how to use it in the service of the Supreme Lord. And the kings are custodians. They are supposed to enact the laws of the Supreme Lord. But when the rulers, administrators, tamodhyam nripaha, nripa is king, when their intelligence becomes very tamasic, then the Supreme Lord descends here to correct the situation. So again, the same thing is mentioned. So this is very, very important understanding. That is why it is the first principle of Ishopanishad. First verse, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita. Tena means the same Supreme Lord. He has set aside quota for everyone's maintenance. So when we maintain ourselves, we can do the word used in the purport is predestined duty or occupation. We all have a predestined occupation. Just like every cell of the body performs predestined work. Cells combine together to make tissues, organs. Every organ performs a predestined work, and all the organs should work in tandem, cooperating with each other. And then the whole body functions very nicely. In a similar way, every living entity is important. Tamasic, Rajasic, Sattvic living entity, and the nature has already arranged a predestined occupation for everyone. And the living entity should be satisfied in that predestined occupation. One should not try to change the occupation or struggle very hard and remain dissatisfied entire life trying to change occupation. Because any occupation does not bring us happiness or distress. Happiness or distress comes by happiness of Krishna. If Krishna is satisfied, any occupation will satisfy us. And if Krishna is not satisfied, any occupation will bring distress to our life. This is the simple principle. So as soon as living entity understands this, immediately becomes happy. Then there is no struggle in life. There is something which I can do very easily, that is called my predestined occupation. Let me engage in that occupation. And engage in that occupation for the satisfaction of Krishna. In that way, if a person works, then he attains salvation at the end. In this life, one is happy, one is very blissful. And at the end of the life, he goes back to Krishna. The same pleasure is obtained. So this is extremely important. Isha Vasyam idam sarvam. Everything, the whole world is property of the Supreme Lord. That is why throughout the Bhagavad Gita, this giving up of proprietorship, this is being taught, this is encouraged, this is Highly recommended. Nirmamo bhutva, nirmama, nothing belongs to me. However, this is not the situation with the world. The whole world thinks, yes, I am working for my personal enjoyment. So that is not right. Then we become thieves. Tena eva socyate. I work so that I can enjoy how I can enjoy. The whole world is property of the Supreme Lord. That is why the result should be offered to Supreme Lord. So this is the first concept. This is called Karma Yoga, the first step of yoga. We give up, we sacrifice the results of our activity. This is very, very important. The whole world belongs to Creator. How can I enjoy anything here? So I can work here as per my predestined occupation so that the result should be offered to Krishna because Krishna is the supreme proprietor. This is very, very important. With this consciousness, it is told in Sri Upanishad, Kurvan eveha karmani jiji vishet shatam samaha. Then if a person has this consciousness that Isha Vasyam, Supreme Lord is the proprietor, I do not have right over my mind, my body, my relatives, I do not have any right upon any of these things. But the Supreme Lord has got right. If this is the consciousness, then Kurvan neveha karmani, in this consciousness, one can work here in this material world and one can aspire to live for Shatam Samaha for hundreds of years. Then there is no problem. Evam nanya thetu asti. And if a person, there is no other way, if you don't work in this way, then at every step, if we are working for enjoying the property of the Supreme Lord, then we are creating simply distress at every second. Thus, every second that a person is spending here in the consciousness of proprietorship, I am the proprietor, then there is simply more and more trouble in our life. And that is what the whole world is witnessing. The troubles are increasing at every step. Always the troubles never come down, they always increase. The complexities, the anxieties always increase. Why? Because of this consciousness. Everyone is thinking, how do I enjoy? How I can earn and I can enjoy. And this is wrong consciousness. One should think, yes, let me earn and let Krishna enjoy. In this way, Jiji Vishesh Shatam Samaha. Then one will not be entangled. Otherwise, Karmano Anyatra Lokoyam Karma Bandhana, we get entangled in karma. Then if we act in the mood of proprietorship, then what will happen? We will be responsible for the results. And the results are given the names good and bad. But this is, as we have discussed almost every time, these are false labels. These are Manorathena Dhavato. Manorathena Asati Dhavato Bhahi. These are mental concoctions, good and bad. Everything is bad. Why? If a terrorist comes to your place and then he tells, you want to die hungry or you want to eat and die? What kind of death we'll prefer? Let me eat nicely and die. I will give you nice clothes, then I'll kill you. After giving you nice clothes, I'll give you 6 bullets. What shall we prefer? This is good. Let me dress nicely and then die. We'll be happy? No, we'll cry. With every dress he gives, we'll cry. Because I know he is going to. Why is giving me? He is going to kill me. If there is gun on my head, he tells eat. Shall we be able to enjoy food? Oh, very tasty. No, we'll not be able to enjoy at all. That is why Chanakya Pandit says that for a wise man, where is the question of sense enjoyment? And one who is enjoying the senses, where is the question of wisdom? So a wise man cannot enjoy senses because there is no enjoyment. This enjoyment is mental concoction. And for anybody who is enjoying The senses, where is the question of wisdom? Because any activity that we do, we may get a good birth. But as soon as there is birth, then there is unlimited trouble. Death is fixed, assured. So, by our activity, good or bad, we are creating simply more deaths here, simply more old age, simply more diseases, and so many anxieties. But animals do not have any sense. Prabhupada gives example. I do not know if you have seen. But one goat is getting slaughtered, another goat is tied next to it, and you feed the goat grass, and it will eat the green grass very nicely. Will not worry that my fellow goat is being slaughtered. Next, it is why it is giving me green grass because it is going to slaughter me. It will not think, it will enjoy green grass. So, that is a unfortunate situation with the human society in ignorance, that everyone is dying, but I am simply trying to eat the grass. So that is why so called good or bad, everything is bad here. As soon as there is death, everything is bad. So the struggle should be how to avoid death. That should be the only struggle. If death is assured, then how can I enjoy in this world? One should be very, very eager to find the solution. And if one does not find the solution, then that is called animal intelligence, tamodhyam. So at every step, when we are acting in the mood of proprietorship, then I'm simply adding more reactions to my life. Reactions could be externally good or bad, but ultimately everything is bad because it is contaminated by three modes of nature, and they will produce unlimited miseries, primary miseries being death, old age, and disease. So that should be avoided. So this is very, very, very important. So we should work in this consciousness. Yes, Krishna is the proprietor. I am not the proprietor. Everything should be used for Krishna. Simple living and high thinking, high spiritual thinking. That should be the objective. But this is not possible if we associate with the materialists. That is why Krishna tells what is the characteristic of a devotee, and that is yasman no dujite loko, lokan no dujite chayaha. So, if we do not work like this for increasing our material opulence, then what will happen? People will laugh, people will criticize. What are you doing in life? Why you are living such a wretched life, simple life, life of a poor man? Why don't you work hard and accumulate some assets in your life? What is the service of God you are doing? If everyone does like you, what will happen to the world? So we may get disturbed. So that is why devotee means yasman no dujite loko, one who does not disturb others, and he is not disturbed by others. He is a devotee. So if we get disturbed by others, then there is lack of my Krishna consciousness. And if others are getting disturbed by me, that is also lack of my Krishna consciousness. So one who advances, he is not creating disturbance for others. And he is not disturbed by others. Harshamarsh bhayodvega mukto yasta chame priyaha. So there will be harsh. Sometimes there would be times of jubilation. And there are times of lamentation, misery. There are times of fear, bhaya. And there are times of anxieties. So Prabhupada tells, but for our devotees, there is no fear and anxiety. Why there is no fear? Because I am eternal. What will happen? Death only will happen at the max. But death cannot happen to me because I am eternal. So why fear? Nobody can kill you in the world because you are eternal. So what is the need of any fear? Let death come. I'll take another body. Death anyway has to come. So thus a devotee is fearless. He is not accumulating unnecessary money and increasing the defense. So just like the eating should be minimized, mating should be minimized, sleeping and defending should be also be minimized. So nowadays there is no limit to defense. People are making nuclear proof bunker for living. They know nuclear war can break out. So the richest people, they are making houses which are unaffected by nuclear war. So no limit to defense. Similarly, unlimited money people are spending for defense, for medical defense, for other defense, for legal defense, so many. So no. So similarly, eating, mating, sleeping, defending, everything should be minimized. So when a person has this consciousness, harsh, amarsh, in jubilation, in lamentation. So thus jubilation can happen only in ignorance. Just like a person who is going to be killed, he is getting jubilant by the nice food or nice clothes or nice reputation your killer is giving. So Maya is only giving us all these things and Maya is going to kill us. So why should we accept all these things? If I accept there is certain death and multiple deaths. So that is why the signs of ignorance are jubilation. A person becomes very happy. So anybody who becomes very happy here on attaining anything material, material success, that means that is insanity. Similarly, if a person becomes distressed here, that is also insanity. Person is crying, I am not getting good food. You run away. He is going to kill you. Why you are crying for food? There should be no question of getting food or not getting food. The question should be, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, why he is killing me? What have I done? How can I avoid my death? This should be the question which should be bothering us. So one should not worry about having material success or material distress. Harsh, amarsh, one should not be disturbed by fear or any kind of anxiety here. So one does not get disturbed by others and one does not disturb others. Such a person is very, very dear to Krishna. Mukto yasachame priya. So now whole world is taking anxiety, increasing their anxieties, increasing their fears. So thus they are not dear to Krishna. So we have to become dear by applying. And how can we attain this consciousness? It is not so easy. So for this, the solution that is also given in the purport. So it is for this reason that Supreme Lord descends here and performs wonderful activity, extraordinary activities, and simply by hearing these activities, one can attain this platform of Krishna consciousness. All the knowledge is awakened simply by hearing these wonderful activities. But unfortunately, some people want to remove all the wonder from these activities. That is their intelligence. Like Prabhupada is explaining here, which are the wonderful activities? The first activity mentioned is, he appeared as Rama, he bridged the Indian Ocean. So devotees of Krishna and Krishna, they do wonderful activities. Lord Hanuman is lifting mountain. He is bridging the ocean. So by this, we should meditate on the activities and develop attachment. But what do the people tell? No, actually it was not, you do not have sense that how he can write the names of Lord Rama and step upon it at the same time. People are telling, making videos. Many so-called scholars are making videos that no, actually there were no stones floating. So they were expert engineers. And their engineering was so nice, they were able to make actual bridge across the ocean. It was never floating stones. He gives logic. Just think, okay, let's say the stones were floating. You wrote the name of Ram. They were devotees of Lord Ram. Will they step on the same stone on which Lord Rama's name is written? Yes, makes sense. Logical. And then he gives second logic. Okay, let's say they have written the name, the stones are floating also. But how they can make a bridge? Because there are waves in the ocean, stones will go everywhere. They'll float away while they will stay in the straight line. Oh, logical, right? There are currents in the ocean, very strong currents. There are tides. Correct? So the stones will go everywhere. Why the stones are there in the straight line? Good logic? Yes, correct. So that means the stones were not floating. Two reasons. Why? First, because they cannot write the names. Because if they write the name, the devotees cannot step upon it. So there is no question of crossing the bridge. And still, if you believe the name was written and people crossed, then how they were able to make the bridge? Why the stones stood in their own place in a straight line in the face of such strong currents in the ocean? So he does not have sense. If Krishna can defy gravity, he can defy an ocean current also. Ultimately, all these are laws created by God. When he can counter gravity, he can counter any law. But anyway, because these people are very envious, I cannot do how Krishna can do it, how Ram can do it. I cannot make these stones float. How he can make it float? They don't want to accept the supremacy. Thus, they call, yes, there might be some truth to all these things, but they have been exaggerated. Lord Hanuman would have lifted a bigger stone only. They have told mountain. It was a big stone, not mountain. Then, when I was in school, so our Sanskrit teacher was telling, good teacher. He had a lot of respect. She was teaching very nicely, but everyone is a victim of propaganda. So she told, my teacher taught me. Actually, we have learned Lord Hanuman was flying here and there everywhere. He was this thing, and we may wonder how can a person fly? We don't fly. We have not seen anybody flying. So thus people disbelieve in the Vedas. So actually, we should not disbelieve. So Lord Hanuman, how he was flying? He was having the most speedy fighter jet of that time. So he was sitting in his jet, and that is how he was able to fly at a great speed. So some people, they want to have faith in the Vedas, but they cannot digest how somebody can fly without any devices, without any planes. So they cannot understand that there is another science. What is our science? We are depending on gross science of reconfiguring the matter. There are other higher sciences, sciences of mantras, by which anything can be accomplished. There are various kinds of sciences. So they are not able to understand all these siddhis, all these extraordinary feats. So all these wonderful feats are performed so that we get attracted by the activities of devotees of the Lord and that of the Supreme Lord. And thus our mind can get absorbed. As soon as we see anything extraordinary, our mind becomes absorbed in that thing. Oh, Krishna is so nice. But their duty is to make it ordinary. No, these are exaggerated figures. Krishna did not have 16,000 wives. How somebody can have? So he had 16 wives. Slowly people increase the number. So they tell it is all exaggeration. However, this is not exaggeration. That is why we have to hear from Parampara. The Supreme Lord is extraordinary. Thus, actual numbers, they are not mentioned everywhere. Otherwise, we will get bewildered. Prabhupada also does not mention the real number. How many gopis actually were there? How many cows and calves were there? They were practically unlimited. So unlimited that Brahma also could not count. Lord Brahma can count the number of living entities in the universe. He has created, he has written everybody's destiny also. But he also could not count the number of cows and calves and the friends of Krishna. They were so unlimited. So these are all the dynamics. Krishna is unlimited. Similarly, Krishna's dham is also unlimited. We should not underestimate. It is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita, dham here, they are the facsimile. We have fax machine. Fax machine means it reproduces the paper. Now people may not use. Earlier fax was the thing. You write something here, same thing will be replicated there. So it is explained that dhamas here, the abodes of the Lord, they are as worshipable as the Supreme Lord. When the Supreme Lord appears, the dhamas also appear by his omnipotency. And just like the Supreme Lord is unlimited, his Dhamma abode is also unlimited. They are facsimiles of the original abode, means they are replica of the original abode. But just like when Krishna comes here, although Krishna is unlimited, he looks like a limited boy, having some height, some width, some weight. In a similar way, the Dham may also appear to be limited, but the Dham of Krishna, abode of Krishna, is also unlimited. And all the material universes, they are lying in one corner of Dham. That is Vrindavan Dham. So that is how apparently limited Lord Brahma was not able to count. Oh, how many cows are there? He got puzzled. So that is why we should not try to tarko pratishta shrutoyo vibhinna. We should not try to apply logic. Achint khalu ye bhava na tans tarke na yojet. Why should I think that everyone I can capture with my intelligence, with my mind? My mind intelligence is very, very limited. I do not even know what is next planet. We do not know about moon. What to speak of other planet, universe and beyond universe and the maker of the universe? How shall we ever get to know? We will never get to know Lord if we use our intelligence. Hundreds and thousands of scientists have come and they have died, gone away, without knowing what is there on moon. Without knowing what is there on moon. What to speak of knowing about other planets of the universe and far-fetched galaxies and other universes? So when we cannot know this, how we can conjecture anything about the creator? We will die without knowing. That is why we should save time and find out if somebody has known who is the creator, what is the purpose. And the Vedas are asserting, yes. So if somebody is asserting, I am the creator, then we should lend our ears and try to understand, is it fact or not? If somebody has dedicated his life to understand truth and they are telling something, we should lend our ears because there is no other way. These things are inconceivable. So thus, if I am able to understand the Vedas and develop faith, then I can save time and make my life perfect. So thus, artificially, it is not possible. We should try to just hear morning and evening these wonderful activities of the Supreme Lord. Krishna having so many wives, having so many friends, doing extraordinary activities of killing big demons who were huge. They had extraordinary powers, could expand the size of their body to many, many miles. And such living entities, they were such huge living entities, powerful yogis were killed by Krishna when he was merely few months old. So all these activities, when we meditate upon them, all the knowledge is automatically revealed from the heart. We don't have to do anything. With rapt attention, we should hear every morning and evening. And then we will be able to elevate ourselves to the platform of Yasman no dujite loko, lokan no dujite chaya. Nothing else we have to do. Just with great faith and respect, as we worship Krishna, we worship Dham of Krishna, we also worship Katha of Krishna. As soon as there is Katha of Krishna, we are spiritually blind. So we have to have faith that yes, Krishna has incarnated in the form of his Katha. So if Lord is present, we'll be very, very respectful and attentive. In a similar way, when there is discussion about Krishna, we should be very, very respectful and attentive that Lord Krishna is present here personally. So with this respect, when we associate with Krishna Katha, all the spiritual realization happens automatically in the heart and we are not disturbed. It is just a matter of realization. And then Harsh Amarsh, one will not be jubilant by any material success. One will not feel anxiety, fear, or distress because of any material upheavals in life. One will remain undisturbed. And then when we are not affected in this way, one can practice Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam. Krishna is the proprietor. One can work only for the satisfaction of Krishna. And that is the way of life. So when the kings, the administrators forget this, Krishna comes down here, he descends, and then he sets the systems right. We will end here. Any questions? Last.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, as far as we are concerned, material world is unlimited because we cannot measure using our instruments or a tiny brain.
Yeah.
But Shastras tell us that there is a clear boundary of that. Similarly, Shastras also say that spiritual world is 3 times
Yes.
that of material world.
Yes.
With that understanding, Prabhu, it appears that spiritual world is also unlimited.
Correct.
It is limited in
Yes.
that way,
Yes.
but then it should be unlimited because Krishna is unlimited. So
Yes.
how do we understand?
Unlimited means in our context. Yes, definitely there is some energy of Krishna, but that energy is also increasing every time. Unlimited in our reference. What is limit? How do we define what is limited and what is unlimited? So that is also relative conception. How do we define that this thing is called limited and this thing is unlimited?
Something which he cannot estimate.
Yes.
But spiritual world is, he is able to
That is why
estimate.
it is called unlimited. Because Krishna himself cannot estimate. What is called limited, which can be measured, that is called limited. And something which cannot be measured, put into any measurement, that is called unlimited. So thus Krishna's energy is so huge that Krishna himself cannot know it. Now is Krishna not omniscient? How he cannot know it? As we have understood, Prabhupada has explained the solution of paradox. As soon as Krishna comes to know, the next moment energy expands further. In this way, it is called unlimited. Nobody can measure, even Krishna himself cannot measure his energy, because the moment he measures, it again goes beyond the limit. Increases.
So, Prabhu, energy we are able to understand,
Yes.
but we are still able to put a measurement to the spiritual world.
No, we are not able to put. That is why Krishna himself cannot put measurement to spiritual world. The measurement is material world is 1/4 of spiritual energy. Spiritual energy is also increasing, material energy is also increasing. So in that way, there is no measurement.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, as you said that even defending should be minimized.
Yeah.
So, but how can we say like that? We need armed forces because other countries are creating nuclear arms and other defense weapons. So we have to keep up with that, and we have to increase our defenses also.
Yes.
So how can we say that defense should be minimized?
Defense should be minimized means, yes, we will defend for Krishna consciousness. But defending at the cost of Krishna consciousness should not be done. Just like we are eating also. But what is our eating? Our eating so that we can serve Krishna. Keeping that in mind, it should be minimized. So in this way, defense should be minimized. And but yes, we should not imitate. As long as we are here in this material world, we have to act, we have to eat, we have to defend. But as far as possible, just like Amrish Maharaj. Amrish Maharaj folded the hands and Krishna defended. So that is the situation. So otherwise, yes, for Krishna's service, we should defend, but not at the cost of Krishna consciousness. I'm so busy defending that I have no time to serve Krishna. That should not be done.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. As you said, some people question that how can the devotees of Lord Ram can step on the holy name.
Yeah.
Like, so can you understand it in this way that for service of Lord, even they are ready to.
That is
take
also
enough
answer.
means.
Yes.
Like
And
gopis, they are.
of course, I am sorry, I could not fully answer it. So one thing is this writing down of the names on the stones. We don't find the reference. I do not know from where this story has come, or could be written somewhere, but in Bhagavatam it is not mentioned. Other places also, Valmiki Ramayana also, it is not there that the names were written. It is told that the stones started floating. That's it. So it is not mentioned how that names were written or how the names were written, who wrote the names. It is not there. And second thing, as you told, even if the names are written for the service of the Lord, the devotee can do this. And the examples are there. And there is one practical instance when a devotee was preparing signboard. In that Hare Krishna was written. Now such a big signboard, you have to ride over it to actually paint it and get it ready. So the devotee was confused. Should I step on it? Or if I don't step, how will I complete? So the devotee asked Prabhupada. So Prabhupada told, yes, for service of Krishna, we can do that. Just like the friends of Krishna, they are riding on the shoulder of Krishna. And conditioned souls also, not conditioned for that matter. All the associates of the Lord are liberated, but they show the example. Govinda, the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was massaging feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after lunch. This was the system. After the lunch time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will take a short nap of half an hour, 45 minutes. And while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is resting, Govinda will massage the legs. Now this day Mahaprabhu danced very nicely in front of the chariot of Lord Jagannath, and he became very much tired. And so tired that he rested right on the doorway. He spread his body and there was no way to pass. And then Govinda tells that, my dear Lord, please give me some way so that I can enter the house and I can massage your feet. So Mahaprabhu told, I am too tired. I cannot move. He told, but can you please move? I need to, how will I render service? Mahaprabhu tells you do or you don't do, depends on you. I cannot move. Then finally, he covered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body with a cloth and then he crossed it. And then he massaged his feet. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu woke up after some time and then he saw Govinda is still sitting there. He became angry. So why you're still sitting here? You did not go to take your lunch. And he told Mahaprabhu, how could I go? Because you were resting here. How can I cross your body? So Mahaprabhu told, you should have crossed just like you have crossed for coming inside. Why you did not cross again? So he did not answer. He did not reply. But in his mind he told, for your service, my Lord, I am willing to commit unlimited offense and go to hell. But for my personal gratification, I cannot do any offenses. He did not reply. In his mind he thought. So this is the mood of devotee. It was required for service of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He committed offenses just to do the service. But he chose to remain hungry. For personal satisfaction, gratification, one should not commit any offenses. So yes, there is also another answer. For service of Lord, devotee can do that also.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, you told that yes, manno dujate loko, lokano dujate jaya. So, not to disturb others and not getting disturbed by others.
Yes.
So, we can understand we should not disturb others and we can follow. But when we are not getting disturbed by others, I think this is more complicated. Suppose someone is talking and all, and we should not be getting disturbed.
Yes.
How can
we can do that when we are in the mood of servant. When we are having knowledge, then we will not be disturbed. We get disturbed only because of ignorance. Somebody spoke something which I do not like. Why? Because I am boss. How can he tell like this? I am great. I am senior or superior, or I am somebody. I think that is false ego. That is bodily concept. If a small child is being criticized by anybody or scolded by anybody, he will not take very seriously. Correct? But if a grown-up man scolded in front of subordinates, oh, he cannot forget for a month or for a year or maybe eternally. He did like that. I have not forgotten. I'll take revenge. I'll start my own company and I'll purchase his company. Then I will show him. I will take revenge. How can I tell my brand is so poor? I'll purchase his brand. No, how? Because I'm industrial. I'm bigger, better. I took revenge. So, no. So this false ego. I understand the troubles of my life are not somebody is beating me also. This is my karma which I am getting. I'll defend my body because this body belongs to Krishna, should be used in his service. Otherwise, I should not get angry upon that person. He or she is simply instrument. So I am suffering because of my karma. So if I get angry with the instrument, the teacher scolds the pen or the student for writing wrong answer. Nonsense pen. Always writes wrong answer. Then teacher is mad. So if we become angry with the instruments, then we are mad, and we are actually mad because we get angry with the instruments. We get disturbed by the instruments. I should get angry with myself. My karma I am facing. So some profit is happening, some loss is happening. I am facing the result of my karma. And I am servant. I have committed great mistake. I have offended Krishna. I wanted to compete with Krishna rather than serving Krishna. So I should be given much more punishment and persecution here. I should be thankful to the person who is giving me punishment. He is purifying my heart by such dealings. That is why Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj tells, let me pray for the best benediction for my worst enemies. So this is the devotee. He prays for the best welfare for worst enemies. And Krishna also does that practically himself. Putana is coming to kill, but Krishna made her mother. Can anybody accept killer as mother? Krishna can do that. And Krishna's devotees can do that. This is how devotees should do. The killer is also given the position of mother. Krishna is massaging the feet of Bhrigu Muni, who came and kicked his chest. So this Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. When a person in this world tries to understand about this material world, and like for example philosopher or scientist, so the more one tries to understand about this world, the more ideally he should become humble intellectually, right? So many of the times we don't see this scenario, they become puffed up, but few instances we may find that they become intellectually humble. So what is that criteria that differentiates that a person with more knowledge becomes more intellectually humble to accept higher science of Krishna
Yes.
consciousness?
So that is why Prabhupada explains that one who is actually advancing in knowledge, he'll become humble. These are elements of knowledge, Krishna also tells. So one who is not becoming humble, he is not actually getting knowledgeable, but more and more ignorant.
Two person on the same platform of material knowledge, one is intellectually humble, that means
He is
previous
actually advancing on the path of knowledge. Other is advancing on path of ignorance, will simply increase miseries of life.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Many acharyas in the past have given their own philosophies like Dvaita, Advaita, and Shuddha Advaita. Then how can we understand that which philosophy is 100% right? Because in past many acharyas have defeated other philosophies and have also been defeated by other acharyas. They give reference of Shankaracharya and they have also counteracted our philosophy.
Yeah, so that is why we have to apply intelligence. So many competing theories have always been there in spiritual field or scientific field. So many theories are wrong. Some theories are partially correct. So we have to apply our intelligence. We have to study and understand which is best.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, parents often conclude that obeying your parents' decision is greater than the worship of God and give example of Shravan Kumar. How can we understand this?
Okay. So obeying parents is definitely very important, but not at the cost of obeying God. This was not followed by anybody, and it does not make sense also. Why should one follow parents and disobey God? God is the supreme parent. He has given us parents, and God is most knowledgeable. So that is why God should be followed. So parents should be followed, or anybody in this world should be followed, as long as their instruction tallies with the instruction of Lord. And thus we have examples also. Prahlāda Mahārāja, he followed his father as long as his father's instructions were not against the instruction of worshipping the Lord. His father told, go to school, he went to school. And he personally had no interest in all these affairs, politics, economics. But his father was telling and he was reading. And teachers were asking, he was replying also. But when father told, don't worship Krishna, he did not follow. He told, no, I'll worship. Come what may. So Prahlāda Mahārāja disobeyed his father. Similarly, 4 Kumaras, Lord Brahma told, you marry and you produce children. They did not follow. They told, no, we cannot marry. We want to do self-realization. They disobeyed Brahma, the most powerful father, most knowledgeable father. Similarly, the sons of Daksha, they did not follow their father to produce more children. They took sannyas, followed Narad Muni. So in this way, so many examples are there in the Vedic history where people have rejected the parents' instructions, people have rejected spiritual master's instruction when it is against the instruction of Supreme Lord, as it is told here. The king is not worthy of being king if he does not act as representative. So that is why all these authorities must be followed. Yes, there is no question of saying no to the father. It does not matter whether we understand father's instructions or not. It does not matter father's instruction is blatantly wrong and is going to create many miseries in my life. Still one should follow the father. Because father is authority as long as he does not speak against the Supreme Lord. Other question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Are we as Shishya to select the Guru, or a Guru selects the Shishya? Because we don't have that much intelligence to think that which Guru is to be followed, and so are we supposed to select the Guru, or Guru selects the Shishya based on his devotion, his surrender, level of surrender.
Both ways. Just like outside, we choose the college or school chooses us.
We choose.
We choose. I want to study in what is that? Dhirubhai Ambani school. Shall we get admission?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Maybe not. Huh? Let me study in MIT.
Means if I want to study in IIT, I will choose that I want to study in IIT and I will try to crack the
They will
exam
choose
for
us,
that.
correct? They will choose basis. They have some criteria. Correct? So both ways. We also choose and the school also chooses us. In a similar way. We choose, I want to accept this spiritual master. And then spiritual master will see whether disciple is bona fide or not. We also will see guru is bona fide or not. So both ways it is. So it is not that we cannot understand who is right guru, but we don't want to understand. We are too lazy. If we want to marry, we will date 100 people at least, correct? Or 1,000, how many? I do not know. So I will, yes, if I have to purchase any small phone, cell phone, I will do so much of research. So I do research a lot, but for guru, then people become lazy. How can I understand? Let somebody know. So one has to use intelligence, be very, very sincere. So if we are very, very sincere, Krishna will send the spiritual master. He will arrange. Then if we are very sincere, such a bona fide spiritual master enters our life. But again, we have to be intelligent whether he is the right master sent by Krishna or another imposter. And he will also choose.
So last week you told that we should we should identify the prospective guru.
Yeah.
We should follow him sincerely for a year,
At
and
least,
then we should apply our intelligence that whether he is bona fide to be followed.
Yes.
Can this sincere following be done like 1 year I followed one guru,
Yeah.
then next year I followed another guru? Is this
Yes.
good? Or if 1 year I have identified this is bona fide, and I think that another one is also bona fide
Yes.
prospectively,
Yes.
without following, then should I try to follow that one also? Or if I have identified that this is bona fide and I should keep following him only?
We should follow best guru. There are many gurus we'll find. In spiritual life also, different gurus will be able to take us to different spiritual realization. So thus we should find best guru. Just like in material world, we want to find the best. We should find which philosophy is highest.
So
And that is how in Vedic culture also people were debating. As soon as they realize the other person is having higher knowledge than me, then the other person is accepted as guru. And they follow him like this.
So
if I find something higher, I should follow the highest.
For that, if I have followed one philosophy for a year, and then should I try that? Is the another philosophy better than this? For
Always, entire life we should try that. Yes. Now, as per my understanding, this philosophy appears to be right. Now, is there something higher? I should try for that. I should go for best. Yes, Diksha is taken once. So, Diksha is spiritual initiation. That if we take from a spiritual master who comes from one of the 4 bona fide sampradayas, then we don't go to. If we have taken, and not just sampradaya, he should actually be authorized by his spiritual master also. So if we have taken shelter of a pure devotee spiritual master, we have taken initiation, then we should not take re-initiation. But higher philosophy should always be sought.
And we have taken initiation.
Yes.
And as it is told that we should be in association with devotees. And we are in initiation with a particular sampradaya. And where we live currently, there is not devotees of that sampradaya, and other sampradaya devotees are present.
Yes.
So should we associate with them?
We can associate in a limited way. Because association means to different sampradayas, they worship Krishna in different moods, in different ways. There are different pathways.
Yes.
So that is why one should stick to one's own sampradaya. So, but better than association, rather association of devotees of any kind is always sought. And but as far as possible, we should try to stick in the association of, it is told, swajatiya, like-minded people who are having similar spiritual advancement. That is compatibility. Even within the same sampradaya, We should associate with the devotees who are like-minded, having similar spiritual advancement.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Dandavad. Prabhu, you in the beginning you told that perfection of self-realization is possible by sacrificing for Krishna. So, what is the greatest sacrifice one can do for Krishna, for best realization, for rapid advancement in Krishna consciousness?
Best sacrifice is Atmanivedanam. Whatever we have, offer everything. Our energy, pranair, arther, dhiya, vacha. In all the four ways, we surrender completely. We offer our life for Krishna. Pran, arth means whatever money I have. Prabhupada tells you have offered your life for Krishna and you have come to Vrindavan with 5 rupees and 5 lakhs for my children. Then Krishna will also tell, oh, I'm 5 rupees for you. Krishna will reciprocate. So many people, they retire to Dham and all money is there with the children. So that is not surrender. There is still attachment. Anyway, I become old. I cannot enjoy my money. So, okay, let me go to Vrindavan and do this thing now. So, pran should be offered to Krishna and resources, money also should be offered to Krishna. Artha. I am for Krishna. The wealth which I have, that does not belong to my family. Yes, they should be maintained, but it belongs to Krishna. Major portion is for Krishna. And then, dhiya means intelligence. I should use my intelligence also for the service of Krishna. And vacha, words also for Krishna. So in this way, complete surrender should be there. That is called the best sacrifice. Otherwise, if we simply hear about Krishna, that is also sacrifice. We are sacrificing our hearing capacity.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, how destructible Vaishnava offense is? Please explain how destructible Vaishnava offense is. What are the consequences?
Vaishnava offense is very, very dangerous. So thus it is told, even though one has made very good spiritual advancement and one has become very advanced, liberated also, there also if a person is not conscious, then one's spiritual life gets impeded because of this. So it is very, very dangerous. That is why in Bhagavatam, various examples are there. Chitraketu Maharaj. So the example is there, even though he was on a very exalted position and he received special favor of Lord Sankarshan, but there he committed an offense against Lord Krishna. And thus he had to take birth as a demon. So of course, all these things are for our examples. They are very exalted devotees, but nevertheless, these examples are important. So that is why if one is not cautious, one is making spiritual advancement, but if one commits Vaishnava offenses, then it is like you have spent many, many years cultivating a nice plant into a tree. The tree has become very, very strong. No wind can shake it. But if a mad elephant enters, the tree gets uprooted immediately. So thus many, many years of devotional service, it gets stopped. The spiritual advancement gets stopped immediately. And a person loses his consciousness by such Vaishnava aparadh. So one should be very, very afraid never to offend the Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you mentioned that we should understand this different philosophy and try our best to be perfect in them. But Mahaprabhu has mentioned that if one reads Mayavadi philosophy, he will be finished.
Yes, so I did not tell to read Mayavadi philosophy. I told we should try to seek higher and higher philosophies. So, Achinta Veda philosophy is already the highest given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, if we have doubt, we can read that. We'll come to the conclusion. But Mayavad we should never read. Why we should not read Mayavad philosophy? Because Mayavad philosophy is based on not proper displic succession. Displic successions are 4. Shri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnava Shiti Pavanaha. And Mayavad philosophy directly told in the Vedas, Mayavadam Asat Shastram. That is a wrong interpretation of the Vedas. So when directly it is told it is wrong interpretation of the Vedas, direct statement is there in Shiv Puran, in Padma Puran, other places. And so one is Puranic references. Directly it is told it is Asat Shastram. And another way is that there is no consistency in the philosophy. There everyone is free to interpret. The way you want the scriptures, Vedanta Sutra, you can interpret in your own way. So when I'm interpreting the law in my way, what is the use of a law book then? Better don't write. If you can create any meaning out of it, which you think is perfect, no, not what I think. What the Creator thinks is important for us to know. These laws have been written. What is the creator's intent behind it? That is what I want to know. So Mayavad philosophy means you read the shlokas and you interpret in your own way the meaning which appears correct to you. So this interpretation, again, we are using our own limited senses to understand absolute truth. So that is why any philosophy which depends on using our intelligence to understand absolute truth directly should be rejected, because our intelligence is limited. We should take parampara understanding. So that is why we don't follow Mayavad. We'll finish here. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Chandra ki jai, Shri Shri Krishna Balram ki jai, Shri Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai, Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki